Hey guys, welcome back. You know what? I have Michael Fielden here. He is a tech genius, and we're going to be giving you guys some amazing insight into what is Clear Corporation? Is it going to destroy your business overnight, or is it going to allow you to build your business? We don't know. Michael and I have different opinions on this, and we're going to break into that very, very quickly. Now, this is my prediction. I think I'm going to beat him on this one, but I'm not sure.
Ouch. Greg, good seeing you again. Hey, everybody out there, whatever day you're watching this, we do record on Tuesdays, and we try to record almost every week. We did miss last week. We had some issues that came up, and now we are back and rolling, and hopefully I show it as live, so Greg's pushing this out there, and we're excited to have you. We're going to talk a little bit to start this about some of the new artificial intelligence changes that are out there. And I'm going to make this quick. I just know that all of you live and love the artificial intelligence side. So we're going to chat about this. What I want to cover first here is ChatGPT did have some major upgrades to their image generator. And for me, as a geek, this is like crazy cool what they've done. And it's funny, Greg won't appreciate this, but
Hey,
one of the changes that they made, Greg, is that AI can now generate an image of a full to the brim wine glass.
what?
And this was actually extremely difficult up until recently, and it is now available, and you can do that in ChatGPT.
But is that the paid version or the free version?
You can do it in either one. It works better
Really?
in paid, but I think what it tells us, and you're going to see samples of this in a second, is AI is getting better at building images, and it's also getting better at something else that we're going to talk about in just a second. So sorry about the formatting here, but we're starting to create more complex prompts, and when you don't have something to do, you got to make stuff up. So one of the prompts they're using as a test is create a security cam still image from a 1990s grocery store. Show a man in full medieval armor stealing a rotisserie chicken. He's bringing it to you, Greg. I want him frozen in mid-sprint past the dairy section. The armor should reflect the overhead fluorescent lights. There should be baby blue tiled floors. There should be a timestamp on this image. And there should be a poster on the wall with this specific text on it. New toaster strudels. Motion blur, chaotic energy, absurd yet intense, low fidelity with a VHS color bleed. Does our audience even know what a VHS is?
Dude, 99% of them do not know what a VHS is.
It's sad.
Dude, I remember Blockbuster, so I know VHS.
Yes. Remember when they were all sold out and you still flipped and looked?
Oh, yeah.
Who will forget? We should offer a reward if anyone out there remembers what comes after Be Kind on a Blockbuster cassette. Do you remember, Greg?
I I literally don't know, but
come on, baby.
Be Kind. Yeah. Oh, Be Kind and Rewind. Yes.
There you go. There's no and. Be Kind, Rewind.
I remember that.
All right. So now we've got this prompt here. You guys have all had a chance to see it. I put this into ChatGPT 4.0. This is the new one. And this is the result that I got.
Seriously?
There is your man in full armor. There is him running. There's your low fidelity. There's your timestamp, your blue floor, your new toaster strudels. It's all right there.
That low is fidelity. Absolutely insanityville. I mean,
that's pretty cool, right?
That's more beyond cool, because what I really see with this, and I know you're being creative and I respect the snot out of that. But imagine just if you put your creative hat on.
Yep.
And you're just okay, I want whatever you want. right?
Yeah.
But be specific because specifics are important. Is that correct?
Well, let's get into that. Let's go to the next one.
Okay,
Now,
let's do that.
I pulled both of these off of the internet so that you guys could go out and find them. These aren't prompts that I wrote, but you can do things like this. And the next one is a little bit more complex. A photorealistic image of two witches.
Or two
Okay.
what?
Witches,
Like flying on
pointy
a
hats.
broomstick?
Yeah, on a broom.
Okay.
Okay. Two witches in their 20s. One ash balayage, one with long, wavy auburn hair. Okay. I had to look up balayage, and I'm probably spelling it wrong. Do you know what it is?
Well, I have literally no clue.
Yeah, it's some hair color. You're going to get to that in just a second.
Okay.
Okay, and they're going to be reading a street sign. Now, this is where it becomes complex, right? We give it some context. We're on a city street. We're a random street in Williamsburg, New York, with a pole covered entirely by numerous detailed street signs, such as street sweeping hours, parking permit required, vehicle classifications, towing rules. Okay, and then we're going to throw in a few ridiculous signs in the middle. Paraphrase it to make these legitimate street signs. Broom parking for witches not permitted in Zone C. Magic carpet loading and unloading only with a 15-minute limit. Reindeer parking by permit only on December 24th and 25th. Violators will be placed on the naughty list.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
The signpost is on the right side of the street. Do not repeat signs. Signs must be realistic. Characters. One witch is holding a broom and the other has a rolled up magic carpet. Okay. They're in the foreground. Back slightly turned towards the camera and head slightly tilted as they scrutinize the signs. This is pretty detailed.
It's very
Okay.
detailed.
We talk to real estate agents. You can do this about a home, right? You could put these witches in your kitchen if you want. We're going to tell the prompt the composition. How do I want the photo laid out? From background to foreground, starting in the background, streets, parked cars, buildings, street sign, witches. Characters must be closest to the camera taking the shot. Okay, the character in this case are the two witches.
Okay.
Okay, this is pretty detailed. Now,
Uh,
what's really cool about that is take a moment and check out the results.
that's AI generated.
This is an AI generated image, and it is a reproducible AI image. Okay.
And this is on the free version, right?
Yes. And guys,
That is
the
insane.
paid version, Greg, is only $20 a month.
Well, I understand that, but I'm just saying, so folks that may be on a budget and they need to, figure out where they want to spend their capital, they don't really understand how this works. The free version, which I personally use on a consistent basis, this is astonishing. Like
Yeah.
like astonishing.
Yep.
The clarity, it's not the ability to create this, it's the clarity of the imagery.
It's a photo.
Right. That's what I'm getting at. I'm getting to the point of the fact that like this, from what you put into the prompt, you got this out. And it's like I'm reading the different signs. I'm like, it literally put everything in there.
Yeah. Broom
Like
parking for witches, magic carpet loading and unloading, reindeer parking. There's Greg on the violators will be placed on the naughty list.
you got jokes.
Hey, the things that you can do with this are amazing. And Greg, the balayage apparently, or whatever it is on the left there. That's the hair.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah, that's the type of cut. You knew that, right? I'm just going to go later and get that done.
Yeah, you and I both have lots of hair to cut.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, so what I want to break into is that you took an extreme left turn in regards to just all kinds of craziness, right?
Crazy.
But the cool
But
thing is,
specific.
the cool thing is that once people, and by the way, you guys need to reach out to Michael and get some coaching and training from him in regards to prompts, because this is a very unique. Um, I don't know what the proper word is, but it's like a very unique. It's not something that you can just grow up and do. Like you have to learn this stuff. Because I'm with Michael every single week, and I still don't get this shit.
Well, and I'm going to argue, yeah, call me, email me, Michael at supportgeeks.com. But the other thing, Greg, that you can do is, and we're all used to Google and doing this. You can go to Chat or Gemini or any one of Claude, any one of these platforms, and you can say, help me write a prompt to do this.
Good point. Very good point.
So what you can do is powerful. But I think the part that I'm trying to instill in people is that the potential is really endless at this point.
And it's getting more endless
Yeah.
as we go on because this is growing exponentially very, very quickly. And we'll bring the
Yeah.
PowerPoint back up here in a second. But it's fascinating to see what this can do because I'm just going to bring this back up. I'm honestly astonished at how that turned out. So if your
Yeah.
creativity is flowing through your brain at 2 a.m., get up, you know, write something out about a prompt that you want, about an image that you want, about a text that you want, about a
Mhm.
description that you want about a property or
Well,
anything, right? If
let's
you want to do
let's
a post about your
let's
kids at the soccer game, but you don't want to show their face. I mean, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, it's unlimited, like you said.
let's talk about this.
Let's
This
go.
is an AI generated image. My prompt was pretty simple, guys. Show me the interaction between a human and AI.
That's terrifying that actually came up with
Okay.
that.
So this is what AI, and this was Midjourney. This is what Midjourney thinks it looks like.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's the one on the left. Okay. But AI is, you can't do this. And this used to be outside of the reach of the average person. If you couldn't draw a robot, you're on your own. Go steal it or find it from somebody else. Now, where I think it's really amazing is when we talk about how you are going to leverage AI to help your business. Okay. Because remember, I just told you AI is not going to replace you. Okay. It's going to do all the things that you don't want to do better than you would do them. I don't like creating social media prompts. I can now put that in there, create me a meme about XYZ. And it can put the words on it, it can put the pictures, all of that stuff can be right here. This is 100% AI generated.
You gotta be shitting me.
Okay. And it can build that meme.
What?
All right. So you don't have to do this. And I guarantee you it is going to be better at building memes than you are.
What?
So
Okay,
when
you
you're
and I have to
looking,
talk off air about this because I'm very fascinated about this aspect.
we could have a whole conversation. And I'm not showing you guys this live because I know none of us want to sit and watch the beach ball, but this is not a 30-minute project. Those two prompts, the image generation, were 2 minutes or less. Okay. So we're not
Because you came up with your concept, so you gave it the
so
broad, and then
give it a
you knocked it
prompt.
down to specifics,
Yes.
and then send it into, chat or whatever,
Yes.
generator you wanna use, and then it will crank out this stuff, and then you just copy, paste, download, upload into social media, and now you look like a freaking genius. Is that accurate?
Yes.
So think about this. Hypothetically speaking, Michael, you and your beautiful wife and two incredible daughters, you guys live at 123 Main Street, anywhere USA.
Yep.
So I go and I get some information about it. I go into chat and I'm like, okay, um, build me a how the hell would I formulate that conversation or the prompt? It would be like, build
Let's talk
me an
through. What are you trying to
image.
do? Start with the results.
Um, it would be something that I would send to them prior to a listing appointment so that I could show them that I'm technically advanced. And so I'm like, hey, look, this is what I can create for you guys. This is just a test model. You can keep it for yourself. So
Okay. So let me tell you what I would do.
please, because I'm stumbling here.
I'd jump into chat and I would start with the simple. I am a real estate agent in San Jose, California. I market to high-end home sellers and buyers.
Let's do this real time.
Uh, okay, we can do that. Let me jump into.
I love putting Michael on the spot. This is the
Well,
best part
let's.
about it because here's the point, boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen, is that we're not talking hypotheticals here. We're not talking bullet points. We're talking real active things you can do to stand out in your communities. So if you can, what Michael's going to do right now, which you can see him typing, I'm going to take this other one off the screen. Um, Imagine this. You go to Michael and his beautiful wife and his beautiful family's home, but before you get there, you build a couple of memes, you build a couple of other, visuals, and then you show up with that in hand. Now, for you guys who are listening, Michael is going to be showing his screen here in half a second, and he's going to generate this as we speak because this is the power of AI as it grows. I am an infant in this. I try to get good at it, but I'm really not. I'm honestly really not. But a lot of us aren't, and that's okay not to be super good at it. But as long as you listen and learn, and you absorb the information and take it up at a bite at a time, like Michael said earlier in the show, I mean, if you don't know how to build a prompt, go in and say, "Hey, I need you to build me a prompt for blah blah blah." But make sure you're very specific in what you're going to tell it. So, Michael, I'll let you take it away from
Let,
here. What was the prompt that you just put in?
let's play a game. We're going to do this kind of a little different than what you said, and I'm hoping everybody
Okay.
can read this. But I'm going to put in the super basic prompt. I'm a residential real estate agent in the San Francisco Bay Area. I am going to a marketing appointment regarding 123 Happy Lane in San Jose, California, and would like a 30-day marketing calendar and plan for this home. Okay.
Okay.
This is a pretty simple prompt. Okay. And it's going to come up. Okay. Let's craft that. Right. So now we can come down here. Here's our key considerations. What's our target audience? All right. Now, we told you this before on one of the other ones. Be cognizant of the fact that some of the things that AI does aren't necessarily legal or conscientious. You should know by now that you cannot use the term family friendly. All right. Because that eliminates other people. But we can look at first time buyers, investors, tailor marketing. What are the property features? We're going to highlight unique selling points, market conditions. For those of you that have been in the industry for a really long time, these are no brainers, but it's nice to have a reminder. Now we've got to prep and launch. What are you going to do to market this home? Well, Mr. Seller, day 1 through 3, I'm going to come in. We're going to talk about professional photography and video. We're going to talk about virtual tours. We're going to develop a property website with that virtual tour and those property photos. We're going to prepare marketing materials, a brochure, flyers, digital assets. Okay. Again, I didn't give it any of the details, so it's not going to go into that, but we can talk through it. Day 4, we're going to put that bad boy on the MLS. Okay. And you can tell them this is when it starts to happen. It's going to go to the major portals. It's going to go to Zillow. It'll be on realtor.com. It'll be on Redfin. We're going to start teasing this out there on social media. Okay. We're going to do that through paid ads and boosting and using the audience that we've built up. For those of you agents that are listening, if you don't have an audience in Facebook and LinkedIn, of thousands of people, you need to start getting that up. It's time to start diversifying and trying to build organic traffic. Okay. I
I
have
agree with you
thousands
on
of
that one.
people on my Facebook. I have thousands of people on my LinkedIn. There's not a lot of crossover between the two for me. So I get an audience. Get the personal stuff out of your social media. Create a business page, create a presence, and understand that people are going to find both of those. But it's about attracting an audience. Okay. Day 5 through 7, we could talk about coming soon campaigns. Okay.
Actually,
Targeted
you
social.
can't do that.
I'm sorry.
You can't do that.
Which?
You can't do coming soon.
Well, so if you'll know, we've on day 4, we already listed it. So it is on the market. This kind of coming soon campaign, and I think they use the term coming soon. I think the one thing that we can really focus on here is that this is when you start talking about open houses, right? Bringing it out to the consumer. This is your way of marketing it. So Gemini thinks of it as coming soon. I think of it as pre-marketing. And I'm going to give you guys a tip. And if you're not doing this right now, you are missing an amazing opportunity to build organic traffic. I already told you that you should have thousands of people in your Facebook. The next thing that you should be doing when you get a new listing, and we talk about this coming soon, so maybe let's phrase it as an open house coming soon, is you need to create an event in Facebook.
Yes.
Build your event in Facebook, put the relevant information in there, advertise the event, boost the event. So create a post about it and invite every single one of those thousands of people to your open house. Okay. A lot of times people now in the Bay Area, because we're in a warmer but not hot season, we're doing these twilight tours on Friday. Invite your Facebook people and say, hey, I'm inviting you to a twilight tour where I'm going to have sandwiches and, sparkling beverages, and we're going to have this great thing. Because the beautiful part is, as you put that out there, people feel special. It shows up on their calendar, it shows up on their page, and they're being invited to an event. How exciting is that? If you're not doing that, start. I think you're going to find out the results are amazing.
Well, it goes back to just human interaction and connection. It's like when you were a kid, right? And you're in junior high, and your best friend Timmy or Susie is having a birthday party. And then you get that little card that they used to send out, right? And it'd be like, you're invited to Timmy or Susie's birthday party at this address at this time and this date. And you're like, oh my gosh, I feel, I feel special. It's the same thing everybody else wants. And I agree with you 1,000%. Think back to when you were a child, and just be like, okay, the first time I got that invite, or that first time I got invited on a date, or first time I asked someone on a date and they said yes, how that felt. People want that feeling. And it's not that hard to understand. And Michael's making a great point, and I totally cut him off because I'm pissed off on my phone right now. But you know, keep going, Michael, because I think you're knocking it out of the park, brother.
So as you hit the event, the other thing I want you to do, because one of the things that's changed since your childhood birthday party with Timmy and Susie, is social media has brought the present time into everybody's social media. So
True.
when you're having this event, you should be uploading photos of the home with people in it, people having fun, the food, all of that stuff. Because unlike before, if you weren't invited to Timmy's party, you didn't know about it.
That's true.
Now
That's
you know,
true.
hey, my neighbor's there. I know these people from social media because we tend to have these bubbles, right? 6 degrees of separation is a real thing. So make sure that you are posting almost live videos or pictures of activity. Okay, keeping going here. We've got to
So
um
let's stay back with 6 degrees of separation very, very quickly, and then we'll keep going. I have a friend of mine. I'm not going to say the individual's name, but this individual works directly with Elon Musk and a few other people, like directly. And they were telling me about it, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "So you're telling me that you could make an introduction to Elon Musk, and I can maybe get him on a podcast or just have a conversation with him and pick his brain for 5 minutes about business?" And this individual was like, "Yeah, that's easy. I can make one phone call." And that's the power of what you just said, Michael. You don't know your connections until you know your connections.
Yep.
And once you learn that, holy mackerel socks, ladies and gentlemen,
Yep.
it'll blow you away. Michael, continue. You're knocking it. You're killing it.
All right. So we talked about the coming soon. Email blast to agents. If you don't have a way to do this now, reach out to me. We'll tell you how to do it. Most companies that create photos or single property websites can do this now, and I encourage you to do that. Just get the property out there. Agents don't always do their due diligence, and the more you can put it front and center, the better off you're going to be. We talked about brokers open previously. Make sure you're doing brokers open. Brokers open is definitely one of those things that's dying out, right? There's
It is
fewer
dying
and
out.
fewer people doing that. However, brokers open is not just about brokers showing up. Put your signs out there. Do it as an open house. Spend the 3 hours in case you have a group of people, and risk somebody walking off the street or a neighbor or somebody coming in to look at the property. It's a easy way for you to get down to the marketing meeting, pitch your open house, and put it out there for the consumer at the same time. Every
What
chance you get to expose that home is one more chance that you're going to sell that home.
Well, it's not just selling the home. It's you being branded into the marketplace as a producer, so that other potential consumers or buyers or sellers or whatever else, they see you everywhere. It's omnipresence. Um, like Michael and I were talking about before, guys. We're going old school on a lot of this stuff in regards to signage. A lot. I see. I mean, I take my dogs out walking. Well, both of them are sleeping next to me, but I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm out the door by 4:30, and I hit the park because I like it quiet and nobody there. But here's the thing: when I'm driving around the streets in the dark, I see open house signs all the time. Typically, well, for us, it's Thursdays for brokers tours, Sundays for open houses. I mean, whatever the days are for you, start setting signs up the night before, because it's not. I mean, obviously check with your local,
Yeah.
authorities and make sure you can do that. Here we can apparently, but it's free marketing. And it's old school and it just lasts. And then the great part, don't pick them up.
Yeah.
Just let them sit for the next day. Pick them up early in the next morning. So now you have more visibility. The people don't know the difference. And we're not trying to trick people. It's just getting your face out there in front of your competition. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. And we should have another whole conversation about that, Greg. I think there's a strategy to putting your open house signs out there. And, I think a lot of agents just put them up with no concern whatsoever. Make sure people can see them. Make sure people can read your sign. Make sure
Mm.
your phone number is on your sign.
Okay, Michael, here's a question for you. What if instead of your face and a phone number, what if you just put up like your name with a giant hashtag or QR code, I might say. And
So
so people could drive by and just snap and then get all the information about the house.
I've tried the hashtag, but people are generally looking for the arrows. Okay.
Yeah.
I think there's an advantage to having a hashtag on there, but I wouldn't waste my whole sign.
You
I
mean
think
QR code or hashtag?
QR code, sorry. I think having a QR code up there is great. I just think um, yeah, I don't think that's the best way to do it. Now, one of the services that we do offer is a movable QR code. So one of the things you can do, if you have a QR code, you want to put it on your open house sign for specific properties, we can help you do that as well. Story for a different day. All right, let's keep going here because we're only on day 8 to 10, Greg. Let's talk about this social media live. Okay. Cannot tell you how important doing live events is. Okay. We post this live for a very specific reason. Facebook pushes that up in the rankings because it's live. They want live traffic. They want you to bring in an audience. Do the live. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what you sound like. I don't care that it's bouncy. I want this to be passionate, honest, and I want you to be participating with your audience. Some people just want to see you. Maybe they're going to come and make fun of you. So what? That's half the time when Greg's doing some Facebook Live without me, I go and I drop in just to bug him. See if I can break.
He actually does do that, by the way.
And you know what? If I'm following you, I'm going to do the same thing because people don't want to see the robot that we showed you in the social media.
No, they want to make a connection with you.
Yeah.
And here, Michael, I'm going to cut you off again. I'm so sorry. This is the Insta360 camera.
Yep.
You can attach it to your camera. You can get a 360-degree photos and videos of your properties. Do you have any of your mics next to you? Because I use the Hollyland Lark M2 microphones. They're literally the size of a quarter. And I get 2 of them. And he's going to go get his microphones. And you can go and you can interview your buyer, your seller, the neighbors, anybody else, but you're relatable. And this stuff, I mean, it doesn't cost anything. Okay. Michael's breaking out the mics.
Let's talk about the other way that you could do this, because I think Greg's got one great way, and I think there are multiple great ways to do this. I use a DJI Osmo 3. It is a gimbaled video camera, okay, that you can use. And what I mean by gimbal is this little camera is designed to hold the image steady. So when you're moving, you notice there's not as much movement. And that's obviously, drastic, but this is a great way to do it. It comes with a tripod. Okay, it's got this little flip screen. You can do it both horizontal and vertical. Great way to do your recording.
Phenomenal camera, by the way.
Phenomenal camera. It's also 4K, super high quality. If you are a drone person, DJI is a manufacturer of drones, and the camera on the drone is the same basic camera. So your color correction is a lot less. Now, the other thing I would tell you, and we know this and from podcasting on down, sound is equally important to image. So I have what Greg was talking about. I've got the DJI version of the microphones. Okay. It's a little kit like this. This is 2 microphones that are this big. Okay. And these guys have mastered how to clip it on. You've got a magnet, so you don't have to clip it just here. If you're wearing a t-shirt, you can put the magnet through and clip it right on. It's a Bluetooth device. It either connects up and pairs with one of these receivers that then attaches to your camera, or if you're using another DJI product, it's going to automatically Bluetooth into that. It also comes with adapters both in Lightning and USB-C, so you can plug this microphone and connect into your mobile phone. So if you just want to use your mobile phone because that's what you've got, you want to improve the sound quality, this thing is amazing. Comes in its own little case. This is a battery charger, and the camera gets me 2 hours of video before it has to be recharged. These are like 10. And if you're talking for 10, let me tell you, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to talk the next day. So highly recommend both of these. DJI is probably the mid-high level. These are both about $500 for each device, but you can get similar products for in the $200-$250 range, and most people are not going to notice a difference.
Dude, so I had to run to my kitchen to show off what I could do for comparison. Rechargeable case, right?
Yep.
This is your microphone, one of them. And then you have this little device you can connect to like a camera or something else like that. But it doesn't matter what style you guys want to buy.
Yeah.
It's all about creating the content and getting out there. Because what Michael has is exceptionally good. I've always listened to his advice in regards to tech because he's amazing at that. But just be different than your competition. But let's get back to our core conversation here.
So day 11 and 12, you're going to do your open houses again. Promote these heavily on social media. And guys, let's be honest here. Don't start promoting heavily on Friday for a Saturday open house. Okay. When you know you're going to have that open house coming up, start promoting. Start Monday. Start running ads. Start getting that in front of people over and over. And guys, this is a money business. Okay. When I say running ads, pay the $50 a week. Run an ad for $50 or $30 or 20. Don't just expect free advertising to get you everywhere.
Well, that goes back to the whole idea of like if you don't market the property, then you're not going to get the most exposure. You don't get the most exposure. You don't get the people through. You don't get the highest price for the home. And if you're going to spend $50, $30, $100, whatever it is on social media or email campaign, pick your poison. Imagine what you're going to spend on a postcard campaign. You have to design colors and content and all those smush. And it's going to last for maybe 3 seconds. My girlfriend and I get postcards all the time, and literally, it literally lasts about 1.5 seconds, and it's just gone.
Whoop.
But if you're relevant and you show up with some visuals or a video or something for $50 or $30, man, that beats 1,200 to 3,000 every single day out of the park. Michael, what are your thoughts on that?
100%. And I think, you've got to have content out there. You've got to be putting out new relevant information all the time.
Yeah.
Now, Greg, I got a new one for you. And, I hate spending money without getting return, but sometimes you need to do things that are different outside.
I love different.
Okay. And this gather feedback, collect insights from attendees is, I can't tell you enough how to do this. And one of the things that Greg taught me 20 years ago is people love it when you leave them stuff. And at the time he was giving out some coupon for boxed wine or something.
No, it was a 25% off discount for Forbes Mill here in Danville, and then about 4 or 5 others. But yes, yeah, right.
Okay. I'm going to push you guys especially those of you that are kind of hitting your stride and you're looking to go from 5 or 10 deals a year to 20 or 30. I'm going to encourage you to look at somebody like Starbucks, and you can now print your custom logo and contact information on a Starbucks card. Okay.
I've been doing that for years.
There's a little cost that goes with it, but it's extremely powerful when you give this over and say, hey, I know we don't have time to sit down all the time for a cup of coffee, but here's a cup of coffee on me. And I used to tell people $5. Now I tell them 10 because you can't get a cup of coffee for $5 at Starbucks. But you're not going to give these to everybody. These are going to be your privileged people that you really believe you have a chance of converting to a client. Okay. And you can give it as an award. You can give it as a sign of appreciation. There's a lot of stuff that you can do without having to be constantly renewing your media, right? These last forever. So you buy 100 of them at $10, it costs you $1,000. That's an investment in your business because people are not going to get rid of this, right? They're going to hold on to this card and they're going to treat it like gold.
Yeah, because it has value because you put it in your wallet and your brand is on it. And then when they want to take their boyfriend, girlfriend, mother, father, son,
Yep.
daughter, whoever, friend out for a cup of coffee on a Saturday morning, shkabango,
And
you got the
Greg,
card.
I'm sure you see the same thing that I do. I give these cards out, and you know what happens? People use the cards,
Yeah.
which is a good thing. You know how I know they're using them? Because they freaking call me. Hey, Michael, I'm using your card down at Starbucks. I just wanted to say thanks again.
It's the most beautiful thing about that.
Yeah. So
I
it
mean,
is.
it costs you $20 for a card, like like Michael was saying. Man, you just you go a million miles with that,
Yeah.
100%.
Yep. So anyway, back to where we were. We're now on day 13, 14. Make sure that you follow up, guys. If you have somebody that comes into an open house and they sign up or they give you your information, follow up. Okay. If anybody RSVPs to your event on Facebook, by all means, follow up. Okay.
Follow up is the problem though, because nobody it's it's like asking someone on a date and being told no, and then or a maybe, you're like, "Shkmoush, I'm gonna go do something else." But follow up is absolutely crucial, guys.
Yeah, exactly. And I happen to find follow up easy. I can't cold call. I can follow up all day. Hey, you came to the party, you had a sandwich, got a cup of coffee, tea, whatever it was. What'd you think of the house? What'd you think of the price? Ask the questions, get them engaged, right?
So
Okay.
I wanna talk about engagement very quickly.
Mhm.
There's a website I use called amazingclubs.com, and it's like cheese clubs, beer clubs, wine clubs, you pick it, they have it, right? Hot sauce clubs, coffee clubs, cupcakes, fruit, jam and jelly. I don't know what the hell that's all about. PB&J's, pie club, there's a pickle club. That's a new one. Anyways, the point of this is the fact is that I was sitting at the dog park talking to a guy that I sit next to all the time. He's an attorney. And I told him about amazingclubs.com. And he went and bought like $1,500 worth of product based upon my recommendation. And he and I talk about it every day when I see him. He's telling me how his new cupcakes, his new oils, blah, 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 how it's all going. And that was just, I didn't even buy it for him. I just told him about it. Imagine showing up and listening to somebody. If they like coffee, go with the Starbucks, get them that
Yeah.
Starbucks card. Amazing clubs. If they like, let's say they're a beer freak. Wait, I'm kind of a beer freak, so I resonate with that. And I'm like, oh my God, I can get all these different beers every single month. And they ship them to me. Okay, cool. Or cookies or dog treats or whatever. Go to amazingclubs.com. I have no affiliation with them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's just a way to relate to
Yeah.
the human being. Like Michael and I are both talking about. And it doesn't matter which method you take, it's just standing out. So, Michael, back to you,
Yep.
my dear friend.
All right. So I know we had said we were going to talk about clear cooperation. I don't even think we're going to get to clear cooperation this
Nope.
week. But we are now on week 3. Okay. The end of week 2, you're going to analyze online traffic, make sure that you're getting some interested parties. One of the things here in California that we do is we allow you to download disclosures. Look at that. Those are your most interesting prospects because they have truly expressed interest. Week 3, Do more targeted social media ads. Okay. Focus on specific buyer demographics. A lot of times that doesn't play out, but search for areas that are likely to move to yours. One of the things that I have been doing, and I feel bad about even mentioning this, so I'm gonna do this cautiously, but Southern California experienced a epic wildfire
Yeah.
and loss of properties. And it's tragic. I mean, there is no doubt, and I'm not trying to say that any of us should do
Do
anything.
not poach on those properties.
You should not poach on those properties. I don't want to do anything down there. I'm not going to drive down there. I'm not going to do anything with that. But those people need a place to live.
They do. It's a good
Okay.
point.
When I am putting ads out now here for properties, I also include advertising in those communities where they have lost homes. Okay. And
That's
I'm
a
not
smart
trying to
move, actually.
get business. I'm trying to show them there are other places to live.
You know, the funny thing, Michael, is that you are actually a pioneer in that, because a lot of the folks, if you're not in real estate, you don't know what you don't know. It's like any other industry. Like, you tell me to go buy a car, I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
how do I do this? And if you lost everything and you're sitting on your laptop in a Motel 6 or a Marriott or Hilton, whatever, pick your flavor, and you all of a sudden you see someone going like, "Hey, I can help you. Are you thinking about moving to San Jose, California?" They're like, "Actually, we have family up there. Yeah, yeah, okay, we could talk about that." Then you get into discussion, then you get into relationship, and then you get into business.
Mhm.
I think that's again, I want to be very, very clear about this. We are not, and I want to go back to us on this one. We are not advocating for poaching on any disaster, not whatsoever. It is purely going like, bro, if you're thinking about making a move and you need a
Yep.
change, let me show you around the neighborhood. Let me help you out. Let me
Yeah.
inform you about what the marketplace is.
Tell me what you need.
Tell me what you need. How can I help you? How can I serve you and your family?
Yep.
And with that attitude, you will make a lot of friends. So,
Well, and I think that you have to take that one step further. Is a lot of the people down there had a lot of money,
yes,
right? They need a place to live. We have places to live. And the beautiful part about it is, okay, so you're going to be rebuilding down there. I get that. I wouldn't leave that area either. You know
no,
what's great
no,
about the Bay Area is we have an excellent rental market, and property values have continually gone up. This can become an investment property. This isn't a lost leader for you. And the
true, true.
market's going to go where the market is. I tell people, you know what? Eventually that area is going to come back. Hold on to your property. It's going to be worth something. It's going to be worth more every day that passes. And we don't want to take advantage of those people. I mean, I can't tell you how many hours I spent, watching that tragedy and just thinking to myself, my God, these people lost everything.
Everything.
You know,
And I'm talking like we're talking like rare books,
yeah,
family valuables,
pets,
family photos,
pets,
everything.
your pets. Think about your
Oh
pets.
my dude, don't even get me started about the pets.
I'm
That
like,
that breaks my heart.
I can imagine I'd be running outside with my dog and people be going, "Where are your kids?" Oh, they're in the house. I just can't even imagine. All right, so let's go back to this, Greg.
All right, back.
We're on week 3. We're talking about targeted social media, highlight key features, right? Use the technology to highlight what's cool about this property and downstage the things that aren't, right? You don't need to show off every little feature. If there's something that, the dog is scratched through the door, you don't need to show that off on social media. They'll figure it out. Day 18 to 20, email marketing campaign. You should be sending out regular emails. If you have an interested buyer, they should get a weekly email or a bi-weekly email. Hey,
Who would you recommend would be constant contact? Would there? Wait a minute, what would be that? What would be a system that is simple, affordable, achievable, and easy to work with?
so in the interest of full disclosure, I am partnering with a company called salesandmarketing.ai. Check them out. They have a free platform that we are building out for it's really small, medium business, but I am designing a real estate interface for that tool. Salesandmarketing.ai, free CRM, free calendar, and free to consumer small list mail profiles. If you need help, Michael at Support Geeks or Michael at salesandmarketing.ai, and I can help you through that. So
See,
we are,
see, guys, we all learned something new. I didn't even know he was doing that. So,
yeah, you got to be doing something.
one more time. What is it, just for folks that are listening?
Salesandmarketing.ai.
Okay, salesandmarketing.ai, guys. It's free. Go check it out. It'll help you build your business. Michael, let's keep going before we got to
Yep.
let these folks go
Okay.
and get
So
back to their day.
blog posts and articles. Blogs are hard for most real estate agents, but I would tell you AI simplifies it. Again, you're probably not going to be able to create your blog on your own. Come to me, Michael at Support Geeks. I'll give you some advice, tips on how to do that. You're going to start holding multiple open houses. Most people are holding these every weekend, but sometimes that doesn't play out with holidays and stuff. So be cognizant of that, but do them. Going to jump up here, day 22, 23 at the top, continue to follow up, 24 and 26. Hopefully by now you're reviewing offers and negotiating. Now, again, we started this as I'm doing a presentation to a potential client. What this is telling them is this is how I expect things to go.
Well, it depends on your absorption rate in the marketplace. Every marketplace is different. So these days might fluctuate, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
but Michael's right on track in regards to laying out a plan so people feel comfortable about moving forward with you.
Yeah. Now, if I'm in a market where the average days on market is 6 months, these are going to have to slide, right? You're not going to get offers in 3 weeks. Okay. Be realistic, because if they see you being unrealistic, it's going to be obvious. Okay. Negotiate, assist with closing. All of this is your post sold. But again, as we come down, AI has even gone through and they've given us some marketing tools and strategy. Professional photography. I don't care how nice of a camera you have, get good photos. If your client or you have decided not to stage, go to Box Brownie or Snap, and they're both the same company, but they can furnish your property virtually.
Guys, to Michael's point, I have used Box Brownie. I haven't used Snap yet, but Box Brownie, I think it's like $35 a room or something like that. It's ridiculously affordable, and it is so simple to do. So I mean, I could not promote that more.
Yeah. And, I'm going to jump over there real quick. Here's a great example. This was $24, right? You're starting with the room on the left. Boom. 24 bucks later, you've got this beautiful furnished room. They do an amazing job of getting stuff prepped for you to show off the home. And you can say, I want this homey, I want it white, I want it, modern,
Modern,
whatever it
contemporary,
is. They
whatever.
also do
They also clean up countertops, do they
they'll
not?
clean
Like,
up countertops. I mean, here's another example for you. I'm trying to get to here's a simple one where you'll notice, they've even put stuff up there on the counter as we go through another one. Now, Snap is their same platform, but it's where you take the photos on your smartphone. The reason that I constantly use Snap is for rentals. You don't always want to go get a high-end photo package for something that's going to be, on the market for 2 weeks, right? This gives you a great way to show before and after for a couple $100. And it's just a way of differentiating your properties from something else.
So here's another. So stay back on that last one, or it doesn't matter. I don't either one. What I've been doing with my listings is that I will take the empty photo shot, empty room, and I will put that in the MLS, and then I'll put Box Brownie or Snap 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 right next to it, so they see
Mhm.
before, potential, after, so they can be like, "Oh, look at that space. Oh, look at those furnishings," and people freaking love it. I
Yep.
mean, because you don't get your doors dinged up or your walls
Yeah.
dinged up. You don't have movers walking in with mud and dog poop on their shoes.
And sometimes, we've all had that big 7,000 square foot house. It's hard to stage 7,000 square feet.
It's going to cost you like $10,000 to do that. Seriously.
Yep. Okay. So they'll do bedrooms. I love how they put rugs in. Here's an outside setting.
Hmm.
Okay. It's clean. I want to point out in this one that we just did, the outside setting is, they've got the lights on, they've hidden the plug behind furniture. It's great. We've got another, bedroom here, pictures on the wall. Um, great tool to use, especially in that rental space or where you can't. Okay, virtual tours are great. Matterports you can now get pretty cheap.
Well,
Social media
you can shoot Matterport on your phone now.
you can. And Matterport even sells a device that allows you to do it. That makes it even easier.
Yeah.
All right, important notes. Want to point out here, adapt this calendar. Okay. Don't just think that because social media put it out there that you can whip it out. You guys still have to prepare. We make a lot of money in commissions. Put the time in. Maintain consistent communication with your seller. This is a given, guys. If you're not talking to your seller all the time, it's going to be really, really difficult to go back and say, hey, your house has been on the market too long. We need to drop the price. Okay. Stay flexible, adjust the plan as needed, and follow up with every lead, every single lead.
One of the things that we do is when it comes to communication with the seller on pricing. So 123 Happy Lane, in the listing agreement, we put in there, if we don't have a showing every day or a contract in hand by day 14, then we need to come back and talk about what the market is telling us. And so if you guys want to try this price, then we need to look at what the market is telling us about what price it's going to sell for. Are you okay with that? And then constantly maintain, this is how many showings on Zillow, on Truly, on Redfin. This is what we're getting back from brokers. You coordinate with your local brokers and your agents around you. You get flyers, you get them filled out when they come through the broker's tour. Get the feedback and then give it to the seller. Because I mean, come on, who wouldn't want real time information? Michael's on point.
So I know this is a long way of showing you that prompts are cool. I think that you need to remember that, AI is a tool. Okay. And, I think that as we go through examples like this, I want you to think outside the box. I want you to realize that this is not it, right? There's a ton of stuff that AI can do. I would encourage you, at any time that it's convenient, to go over and pick up my book, AI for Real Estate, off of Amazon. $10.
Great book, by the way.
$10 is going to help you get in there. It is not completely AI generated. Don't worry about that. There's a lot of insight from my experience as an agent. There is some AI editing to make it more grammatically correct. And there is an image on the cover that is 100% AI generated. Okay.
That is insane.
These tools. And this is another example of show me what AI looks like as it applies to real estate.
That's
Okay. This is what AI thinks it is for the property market. So really, really powerful, really good. Now, Greg, we're going on 60 minutes. Why don't you jump back over to us and let's close this out so people can get on with their day.
Sure, not a problem. The thing is that my mind is going when I just saw your book. I mean, using AI with the right prompts, you guys could create a short form, either like ebook or actual hard copy book about the market, about yourself, about your life, about your experiences, about whatever the heck you want to do, and then give it to them when you walk in. So hold on, I'm gonna pick up one here. This is not a good example, but this is Compound Effect, Darren Hardy. Great book. Love this book. Not a big book, right?
Yeah.
What if you could create a book half this size? And here's the point. With AI, with Michael was just talking about, standing out, you come in and you give them an autograph right there. And then you give this to them as your business card versus a business card. There's so much, guys. There's so much stuff, but we're going to wrap. We've been here for an hour. You guys are absolutely awesome sauce for hanging with us. Michael, one more time, where can everybody find you?
Everybody can find me at Michael at supportgeeks.com. You can also find Greg at supportgeeks.com.
You can.
Or we are also, this podcast is called RE Geeks. You can find us, Michael and Greg at RE Geeks, either one of us. Not one address, Michael at RE Geeks and Greg at RE Geeks. So we are here for you. Love to get any feedback that you guys have, any questions that you have for topics. I think, Greg, hoping we can remember to do this, but next week we need to talk about AI, Canva, and how to get some marketing put together, because I think that's something.
I think that's something we need to cover. Canvas confuses the snot out of me personally.
Beautiful.
And I've tried, and I just throw my hands up in the air. So I can't wait for this conversation. You guys stay tuned for this. Be ready with your pen and pencil, or you millennials with your thumbs and your iPhones and Androids, and let's get down to business. Let's make you guys some money. And guess what? It doesn't cost you a freaking penny to listen and learn. So until then, guys, peace out, ninjas. We love you. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Have a great week.